right, y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. I got a special one for y'all today. But before we get started, big shout out to Eric at Breakthrough Clean. Super cool cat. If you don't know him, you need to look him up and check out his product. I just happened to have the opportunity to meet him in person back when I was living in Miami, and he used to come shoot at the range that I used to work at. But check out their products. They're great for servicing your firearms, right? Today, we are talking about optics, and I'm gonna tell you what is the best optic for your rifle or your sub gun setup, right? Another disclaimer, everything on this table, all of this stuff, I paid for. Nobody gave me no discount codes. I didn't get no half off sale. Nobody gave me anything for free. But if you want to send me something for free, I mean, I'll gladly take it. But all this stuff is stuff I spent my own money on, and I'll give you my personal feedback on it. So you got a lot of different options when it comes to optics. We are in an era where, man, technology is just taking over. If you're not using optics, I just feel like you're at a disadvantage. And like I said, there's a bunch of different options to choose from, things from lower end to higher end. So the real question is, like, what's the best one and how does it apply to you, right? The best optic, it depends on what your application is, what you're using it for, right? What are you gonna be doing with this optic? What type of shooter are you? What type of shooting are you going to do? If you are a go to the range every once in a while, you shoot inside, keep it 100 with you, you can use any type of optic and you'll be fine. When I say any, I'm talking about like eBay, red, green, orange, reticle, and you'll be good with it. I mean, if you're shooting something like that on like a 5.56 or AR, the recoil of that, or depending on what type of brake you're running, it could damage it because of the cheapness. But besides that, you should probably be all right, okay? Getting it out the way, my go-to reticle, my go-to optic, the thing that I love the most, the thing I swear by is the EOTech, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, this is my battle rifle. Like, I'm going to war, I'm shooting competitions, I'm doing everything with this gun. I absolutely love this gun. This is my SIG MCX 10.5, and it is the absolute beast. What's on it? EOTech. You know, that should tell you something. My go-to, love this gun. My sub gun, my Scorpion Evo. Dude, this is a badass gun. I'm talking about, I'm running out the house, it's in the trunk, it's in the car, it's in the passenger seat, it's in the bag. I just need some small form factor, or I'm going out and shooting, have fun. What's on it? EOTech. That's the optic that I recommend. But also, I do not discriminate when it comes to optics. As you can see, like, I got a Bushnell, I got Holosun, Sightmark, Trijicon, more Holosun, Vortex, Trijicon. Like, I use everything, but there's different applications for each type of optic and what I'm doing with it, right? So the reason why I say these are my go-to, because they fit the description for what I do the most. And what I do the most, I'm shooting like competitions every once in a while. I'm shooting things that has variable light. I like a good field of view, and I like ease of use. That's why I chose that optic, right? So just showing you right now, the field of view on the EOTech is like, man, it's insane. Not only is the field of view insane, but the glass is clear. That's a huge thing when you're shooting outside, because you also have nicer optics, or nice optics as well, like the Trijicon. This is a Trijicon MRO, but it has a tinted lens. The tinted lens has its pluses, but it also has its minuses. If you go outside shooting in bright sunlight and you don't have any glasses on, if you have a optic that doesn't have a strong reticle like the Sightmark, you're not gonna be able to see it well, right? But if this lens was tinted, you'd be able to see this dot easier because the tint will almost like, I don't want to say magnify, but it provides a different level of intensity on the dot. You know what I'm saying? And with the Trijicon, since it has a little tint to it, that's one of the reasons why it has such a good battery life, because the dot doesn't have to be super bright, because the tint kind of helps make up for that tint on there. But with the EOTech, not only is it clear, what makes this so good to see, the field of view, but the brightness. I'm talking about eye-piercing laser brightness. Like if you can see the brightness on this thing, it is insane. Where is it at? Look at this thing. Oh my goodness, crazy bright. And I really appreciate that, right? And things that I didn't know or notice about a higher end optic, I didn't realize these things until I started getting into different types of shooting. When I first started shooting, like I said, if you're indoor shooting every once in a while, just shooting for fun, you can use any type of optic and you'll be fine. And that's what I was using. But then I started shooting some matches. I started shooting outside, and then I was shooting in different things. Like there might have been cover and then no cover, and then the light changes. And people who I was shooting with that had nicer things was always telling me, bro, you gotta get a nicer optic. And I was like, I don't think I need it. Once I started doing that other types of shooting, I seen that I needed a nicer optic, because like I said, this Sight Mark is a decent optic, but it doesn't really get that bright. If I'm outside shooting and I have a nice pair of eyes on and it's got a nice tint to it, then this is not an issue. But if I have a pair of eyes on, let's say I got like a yellow lens or I got a clear lens, outside mid brightness, bro, you're not gonna be able to see this. It's gonna be very hard to see. I spend too much time trying to see the dang on reticle. But with like a Trijicon, with the EOTech, man, it's bright. Like I just showed you on camera, when that thing is on, you can see it. And that's huge when you're shooting and moving, especially like the field of view as well. Like my AR, usually when I'm doing stuff with this, I'm doing little close quarter combat type thing, or I might be shooting like out to maybe like 100 yards. Plenty for an EOTech. Good field of view, quick acquisition. I love the reticle. I can see it in any type of light. Low light, bright light, it works. Also with the EOTech, for me specifically, you see I got a couple different ones. I got this one, this one, this one. The reason why I have this one on my AR, because the way I have this AR built, like everything serves a purpose. This EOTech takes AA batteries. Like if the end of the world was going on and I had to have an AR, first, where are you not gonna find AR rounds? And then second, where are you not gonna find dang on AA batteries? That's why this is on here, because it all fits that, my practical application for what I want to do with this gun, you know, and kind of getting into like some pistol optics. I have some pistol optics like this Holosun, right? It takes a 1610 battery or something crazy like that. And that's always a hard battery for me to find. Every once in a while, I may find it in a store, but most of the time I usually order from Amazon and I order it in bulk. So for like a go-to do-it-all forever optic, I probably wouldn't recommend that. I'd probably recommend something that had like the other battery, like the 2032 battery, because it's just an easy battery to find, you know? But it really just comes down to like the application on what you're trying to do with your weapon system or the type of shooting that you're gonna do, you know? Because like this AR right here, it's got a Holosun on here. And for what I use this for, I mean, it's perfect. The battery life's good. It's got the little solar on top. But if I was really going to shoot some matches, or I really want to do some work with this, the reticle's kind of small. I prefer a bigger window with a bigger field of view. So that wouldn't be like my go-to. At the end of the day, is there anything specifically wrong with any optic? Like I said, of course not. And like I said, I don't discriminate. I got, like I said, Bushnell, Holosun, Trijicon, you know, I got a bunch of stuff. It really don't matter as long as it serves the application that you're going to use it for, you know? When people give you their advice. They're going to give you their own personal preference, you know, because I could tell you, hey, this EOTech is the one that you should have, but you may not like the actual reticle. Because another thing about EOTech, they have that kind of holographic reticle. It kind of looks kind of like cartoony, and some people don't like that. To me, it don't bother me, you know. But if that's something that you didn't like aesthetically or wasn't your personal preference, then that's not going to be the optic for you. So just be mindful of that when people are giving you their advice. You know, everything that I'm talking about, it ain't what I heard, it's what I know. You know, I done shot all of these things. I got, man, thousands of rounds through these dang on optics. But for me, the go-to optic that I use the most on my run and gun guns, or my truck gun, or my go-to AR, man, it's the EOTech, hands down. I really, to me, nothing really competes to it. When the Holosun came out, this HS510C, I really like this. I like the solar in it. I like the reticle on it. I like the ease of use. I like the field of view. It was pretty solid, but what didn't go well for me with this was extreme brightness. Like I said, if I was in Texas for a while and I was doing a lot of shooting, and man, it's bright in Texas. If I got a nice tinted lens and I'm shooting this optic, it's fine. I can see it just fine. But like I said, let's say I want to run a yellow lens, or I run a lens that's not as dark, or I run a clear. Sometimes I ran into issues where it's kind of hard to see this. And like I said, recreational shooting, light match or something, it'd be fine. But if I want to not worry about it, I need a dang on EOTech. Like that's what I'm going with. Another optic that I'm very, very interested in, and I actually had this optic and I kind of sold it, gave it away. It was the Vortex. I want to say it's the UH1, the Huey or something like that. I was actually at a shooting match. I was at a low light shooting match in Texas, and I won the match. And when I won the match, one of the things was up for grabs was that optic. So they gave me a brand new Vortex UH1 optic. And at the time, everything that I had an optic on it. And I was gonna build an AR. I was gonna build a new AR and put that on there. But one of my buddies that I always shoot with, super cool guy, he really wanted a higher end optic, and he was like, man, you should just sell it to me. And I was like, yeah, how much you want to give me for it? He's like, man, I give you like 300 bucks for it. So I just sold it to him for 300 bucks. And I know some people are like, dude, that's like a $400 or $500 optic, but yeah, that's my boy. I mean, I paid $20 to enter the match, you know, so what? I spent 20 bucks, I was good with it. And then he served, it served him good use, so I was good with that. But I have thought about getting one of those optics and putting it on, I don't know, something. It might just be a reason to build another AR, but I got a couple ARs, and to be honest, the only ones I really shoot is like this small one, this white joint, and my MCX. My MCX is just so nasty that I really don't shoot my other ARs, man. If you get your MCX, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, bro, get you an EOTech and you be squared away. Throw it on the dang on AR, throw it on a subgun, and you'll be loving life, man. It'll be money well spent. Now, the EOTech is kind of pricey, but this is what I tell folks. It's only expensive if you don't use it. Hear me when I tell you that. You know, like, I ride an $8,000 bicycle. And people be like, yo, that's crazy, but I ride like, you know, 350, 400 miles a month. I probably bike more miles than people drive in a month. So for me, it's like, was it expensive? No, not really, because I use it. So it ain't expensive if you don't use it. Another thing, I was talking to my buddy about different types of guns, right? And I was trying to explain to him the difference between comp guns and ported guns. So like this gun I got right here, this is a old school Mod K Armory MMP 2.0 5-inch long side, but check out these ports, bro. This is a nasty, badass gun. Yeah, I got a couple of ported guns. If you are interested in a ported gun video, I think I got at least probably like 4 or 5 ported guns. I might make a video talking about Porter guns. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. Drop a comment and I'll get that video out to y'all. Other than that, if you are liking the content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel. And that's all I got for y'all, man. I am out.
Rob Armstrong.